Hi, and welcome to Comedy Recapped. Today we'll be examining the spooky 1988 comedy Nightmare Sisters. Three geeky sorority girls become possessed by a succubus, turning into demons and forcing local fraternity boys to fight through the night to survive. Watch out, spoilers ahead. At first, we're introduced to Omar, a fortune-telling palm reader who can also do income taxes. In mourner's clothes, a woman walks in, explaining her husband's untimely death and the strange circumstances around it. Omar takes this opportunity and looks into his all-seeing crystal ball, only to fall victim to the same succubus who had killed her husband after being possessed by the man's last moments. It begins with a recount of him cheating on an unknown being and ends up being killed by the creature. The succubus pops Omar's head off, and the widow apparently falls limp from a heart attack. Next, we meet our three girls, Melody, Marcy, and Mickey. Melody is an aspiring singer, though she's not the best. Marcy, who walks in, is carrying a box of junk from a flea market, and Mickey is in the middle of cooking a pie. Melody and Mickey warn Marcy of the things she brought home, though she's got a few things for them too. She shows them the strange crystal ball she brought home, which understandably spooks them. Still, ultimately, they change the subject and talk about the sorority house being empty for the weekend. Except for them. All of their sisters have left town, and the three of them don't even have anything to do. Melody decides to call up a boy to see if he wants to come over and bring some friends. She explains that she may have moved too quickly, putting his hands on her, which causes him to run off. Her friends tease her for her boldness, but convince her to call him up and ask him to bring a couple friends for them, so no one has a lame weekend. Cut to the fraternity, where the boys are sitting up similarly bored to their female counterparts. Kevin, the boy Melody wants to see, is thrilled at the second chance, thinking he mucked it up the first time. He coaxes his friends into coming with him, despite both of them being disinterested in strange Marcy or Melody with her thunder thighs. The other two are Freddie and Dwayne, who begrudgingly agree. They argue for a bit before three older frat guys catch them playfully wrestling on the ground. They harass them before the boys explain they've been invited to the sorority house. That too is not permitted by the guidelines. The boys are told if they're caught fraternizing with the sisters, they'll be kicked out. They're not fully fledged members yet and are beholden to the rules in that way. As they don't want to lose their free room and board, the boys are bullied into staying put now. They quickly hatch a plan to get away, even with the older housemates standing guard to ensure they don't do anything that could get them in trouble. More explicitly, this behavior will get them kicked out of the fraternity altogether. None of the older brothers seem all too worried about them getting kicked out, as much as they are about making sure they don't go see the girls. The boys pretend to be asleep in order to escape, and head over to the girls' place. Each pair off with their corresponding date. Melody has Kevin, Marcy has Dwayne, and Mickey has Freddie. Dwayne and Freddie aren't clicking with their girls at first. Once they've all talked a bit, they decide to do a group seance with the crystal ball. While messing around with it, they encounter Omar, who warns them of the demonic presence. But it's too late. The girls are shocked by some unknown force that not only throws them back, but makes them all insatiably horny and attractive, as well as topless. The boys seem excited at first, but are quickly put off by the exuberant sex appeal the girls are putting off, unsure how to handle the changes or what had happened with the crystal ball. It's around this time that the three older frat brothers discover the deception while trying to prank one of the boys into wetting the bed. They follow them back to the sorority house, seeing how lucky the boys are getting as the girls get handsy and cover themselves with the peach pie. They decide to round up and deal with the boys. Still, in the meantime, the girls get playful with each other in the bathtub, cleaning up the pie in the process to multiple sets of onlookers. As the girls try to seduce each of the boys they're with, the boys are trying to figure out what happened to them while keeping themselves safe. They seem to know the girls are possessed and dangerous. However, the other frat boys don't know this and quickly begin to fall victim to whatever perils come their way. Since the boys are unaware their frat brothers have come to retrieve them, they can't warn them of the dangerous demons. One by one, each girl takes their turn seducing their date. Mickey and Melody take out an obnoxious frat boy each. The third frat boy is lecturing the three about their behavior while they warn him about the danger. They're left tied up in the van when he refuses to believe them. Finally, he makes it back to the girls, where he's seduced in Marcy's bed, surrounded by drawings and candy. They reduce him to ash, where he joins his other brothers who have been equally as unlucky. Meanwhile, the boys call an exorcist to take care of the demon. He correctly deduces that the three young women are possessed by a demon. This particular demon targets its victims through humping, using women to get to men and turn them to ash. He shows up, and the four of them devise a plan to tie the girls up and get the demon out of them. They use Freddy as bait to draw the demon girls in, quickly netting them and tying them up in the middle of a pentagram for the exorcism. The exorcism doesn't seem successful at first, as they struggle to get rid of the mighty demon in the meantime. He shouts powerful words at the girls, who writhe under the demon's control. Finally, it appears the demon has left their bodies. However, despite the girls slumping, the monster isn't gone, and it continues to terrorize them, showing off its gruesome, ugly face. The priest seemingly banishes the succubus off, but Kevin deals the killing blow by tossing the crystal ball after it and causing an explosion, electrifying the demon away. Now the girls are back to their normal selves and grateful as they all celebrate by playing Twister in the yard outside. They're having fun, but meanwhile in the background, we see the ground illuminate with an otherworldly glow, hinting at the possibility that the demon will strike again. And that's going to wrap things up for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed this recap as much as we did. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on. That way you won't miss a single video.